The PSN flash sale is so good that we want to take a look at another 7 fantastic deals available right now. Yesterday's video, we took a look at 10 deals and a lot of you guys left comments saying go over X, Y, and Z games, so here is another video going over 7 more games. Honestly, you should have a look at the sale for yourself. There's a lot of good stuff, heavily discounted, and while some of these games that I'm going to mention aren't the best games in the world, they still offer some fun and some games that I would highly recommend you to check out. With that being said, let's get right into this. The Order 1886 for $4.99. A game that might not be the best game, but I would still recommend you to check out at a cheaper price is definitely The Order 1886. This was a game that was released with a ton of hype behind it. It was developed by Ready at Dawn Studios, a studio that's more known for working on various portable games. They worked on a lot of the portable God of War titles, and The Order 1886 was their first true AAA big budget PlayStation 4 title, and it had a ton of anticipation surrounding it, mainly because of its technical achievements, and playing this game just to be blown away by the visuals, that's one thing in itself. But of course, games do go beyond the visuals, and with The Order 1886, you do have a very interesting premise, a very unique setting that's really just hampered by lackluster gameplay and a very short campaign without a lot of replay value. I understand the criticism for The Order 1886. I was one of many that criticized the game, but it was released at a $60 price point. Now that it's down to just $4.99, this is as good of a time as ever to check out The Order 1886. Saints Row 4 re-elected for $4.99. Saints Row is not the most engaging game in the world. That is definitely the case. However, it does offer a lot of fun, and that really began with Saints Row the Third when the series just took this more over-the-top approach, and that was followed up with Saints Row 4, and then it was re-released on PlayStation 4 as Saints Row 4 re-elected. If you want a game that you don't have to think a lot to play it and just have a lot of fun, you're gonna get that out of Saints Row 4, and of course with this version there are visual enhancements for characters, environments, and shadows, and you've got a ton of content to the game. The base game, both DLC mission pack, 25 plus DLC weapons, 15 new vehicles, 60 wardrobe items, and 6 new superpower elements. Again, this is a game much like The Order 1886. You can't recommend it for a higher price, but at $4.99 it's a perfect pickup. Thief for $2.99. Thief was released back in February of 2014, and personally, I was looking forward to this game so much. I truly believe that this was going to be one of the early defining games for the next generation platforms, and man, was I wrong about that. Now, Thief isn't a terrible game, it's just a little bit mundane. However, if you want a pretty decent stealth game, it's a pretty good option. Unfortunately, the visuals aren't that great. The voice acting could have used some work, but now at just $2.99, I feel like this is a game you should still check out, and it does include the bank heist DLC mission, so that's pretty cool as well, and at this cheap of a price, you're not losing much. Unravel for $4.99. A lot of us harp on EA for always creating those big budget experiences that they know are gonna sell well, but that are a little bit generic. You can't say that about Unravel at all. If you remember the E3 announcement for Unravel, that was one of the emotional game announcements I've ever seen, and really something that was very uncharacteristic from an EA E3 press conference. Unravel is a very visually pleasing platformer that has you play as Yarny, a lovable and endearing character made from a single thread of yarn, and he unravels as you move. It's inspired by the environments of northern Scandinavia, and the environments of this game look beautiful. There are some shortcomings from a gameplay side of things, but considering how gorgeous and unique of a premise this is, for $4.99 it's a great pickup, and there is a free demo available if you want to check that out. God Eater Resurrection for $4.99. So many of us are excited for Monster Hunter World, and rightfully so. That game looks incredible, but it is going to be released at a full $60 price point. If you want a game similar to Monster Hunter but with a more anime-styled theme, God Eater Resurrection is absolutely the game for you. This is a franchise that hasn't gained too much traction over here in North America, but in Japan it's a very big series and a mainstay of PlayStation. However, it has been coming over with God Eater Resurrection as well as God Eater 2 Rage Burst that's also been released. God Eater Resurrection is 75% off, and keep in mind that visually this game isn't gonna blow you away like Monster Hunter World. It's very much a lower budgeted experience, but it has some quality to it, and it's just $4.99 if you like your Monster Hunter style of games. If you're a fan of anime, there's an anime to this as well. You're gonna get a lot of fun out of God Eater Resurrection. Lords of the Fallen for $3.99. Lords of the Fallen was a game that was released to a mixed reception. Personally, I really enjoyed it, and obviously with this game you are gonna see a lot of comparisons to the Souls games, and rightfully so. It very much follows that similar formula. Unfortunately, as far as level design and atmosphere and world building, it's not at the level of the Souls games, but it is good in its own right, and Deck 13 are getting better and better with game development. The Surge was a better game than the Lords of the Fallen, Fallen, so if you want to see where that game came from, you're gonna want to check out Lords of the Fallen. Again, this is a game I would not recommend for its retail price, but now down to $3.99, it's worth a buy. And finally, Transistor for $4.99. We talked about Supergiant Games yesterday with Bastion. That game is also on sale for $3.74, and their other game, Transistor, is also on sale. Unfortunately, no sale on Pyre, but that is more of a recent release, so we can let that slide. Transistor is a fantastic game, and it's a very unique sci-fi themed action RPG that's got some really good music. It has a great art style, and there's another game like a lot of the Supergiant games. While they don't reach new heights in terms of technical achievement, it's more than made up for by brilliant art direction and great presentation, and this is going to be a game that's going to age very well. If you are a fan of Bastion and you've yet to give Transistor a shot, please do so. Transistor isn't as iconic of a game as Bastion, but you can make an argument it's as good. Personally, I would rank Bastion above it, but Transistor is great too, and at $4.99, you should check it out. So that wraps up 7 more great deals from the PSN flash sale. What do you think? This flash sale is really good if you want to get some cheaper games. Again, not the newest games in the world, not the games with the most mainstream appeal, however, great deals nonetheless. Sound off with your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.